Oh, hello. Let's pull back the velvet curtain on history, shall we? Imagine a time before you could simply ring up a friend. A time of handwritten letters and waiting. Then, along came a clever chap with a magnificent beard, Alexander Graham Bell. He's the star of the show, the man who tamed electricity and made it speak. The story usually goes that one fateful day in 1876, he said those famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." But history, my dear friends, is never quite that simple. It's not a one-man show. His name was Thomas A. Watson. Now, who was this Mr. Watson? He wasn't just a name on the other end of a wire. Thomas Augustus Watson was a young man who worked in a machine shop, a place filled with the clamor and clang of innovation. Watson was brilliant with his hands. He could read a technical drawing like you or I would read a novel. One day, in walked Alexander Graham Bell. From their very first meeting, a powerful partnership was forged. Imagine their workspace. It was a chaotic jumble of tools, tangled copper wires, jars of acid for batteries, magnets, and tuning forks. Watson would spend countless hours hunched over his workbench, translating Bell's abstract concepts into tangible physical reality. The famous breakthrough didn't happen in a single, clean flash of genius. For every tiny step forward, there were a dozen steps back. But then came June 2nd, 1875. This was the real Eureka moment. Watson's reed got stuck. He plucked at it to try and free it. What happened next was pure magic. Bell heard a rich twanging sound that had the same musical pitch as the reed Watson had plucked. This was the secret. Watson worked through the night, constructing the very first prototype. This first telephone was built on a revolutionary principle they had discovered together. Without Watson there, plucking that reed, who knows how long it would have taken Bell to make the discovery. The patent was filed on February 14th, 1876. But a patent is just a piece of paper. The real proof was still to come. They moved to a boarding house where they could run a wire between two rooms on different floors. Picture the scene: Bell in the attic laboratory and Watson down in a bedroom, each with a receiver pressed to his ear. On March 10th, 1876, Bell shouted, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." Watson heard every word clearly. Watson was so stunned that he dropped the receiver and bounded up the stairs, shouting that he had heard every word. This iconic moment was the culmination of a deep partnership. Watson wasn't just an assistant. He was the co-creator of the moment. As the telephone became a global phenomenon, history's spotlight focused on Alexander Graham Bell. He became the sole father of the telephone. Watson's name slowly faded from the popular story. He became just the answer to a trivia question. Who was on the other end of the first phone call? History is not a solo performance. It's a grand symphony. And for every famous conductor, there are dozens of musicians playing vital parts. Bell composed the melody, but Watson provided the harmony, the rhythm, and the actual instruments. Think about the world around you today. Every great achievement is the result of teamwork, dreamers and doers working together. They are the modern-day Thomas Watsons, whose names we may never know, but whose work we rely on every single day. So remember Thomas Watson, the man whose skilled hands and patient ear helped a brilliant idea find its voice. His story reminds us that history is a chorus, not a solo. Everyone can play a part in changing the world.